You continue walking through the tunnels. As you do, it continues getting colder and colder. You reach the door that has frost on it. You quickly open the door and see an entire room covered with snow. 6 braziers are aflame in this room and seem to be the only source of heat. At the other end of the room are 2 pillars, and in between these pillars is a tear to another plane of existence. Ice and snow are flowing from out of the tear. Welcome to the Terrain and Environment episode of Behind the DM's Desk. There are a few videos online describing how to make combat more interesting with environmental effects. This video will be an example of how to put that into effect. Now we have a room in a dungeon with a portal to the elemental plane of ice. With this little bit of knowledge, you can have a world of fun. Now in the Dungeon Master's Guide, there's a rule for extreme climates. Maybe we can use this rule, or maybe let's tweak a little bit, add a little bit of flair to it. Normally, you would make a Constitution saving throw or else suffer 1 level of exhaustion. This is all good and well, but let's add something to it to make it fit the situation more. Maybe there's a chance if you fail, you take damage equal to your level, and that damage being cold damage because you're right next to the elemental plane of ice and it's physically hurting you. Or how about they begin to shake and tremor uncontrollably, thus giving disadvantage to anything that would use fine motor skills such as using thieves' tools or making ranged attacks with a bow. So now the players have a little bit of an idea of what to expect from this room. Now, after the players investigate the room a little bit, you say, as you look about the room, you hear rumbling in the distance. You look forward to the pillars and see a giant form of ice resembling a large human emerge from the tear. Roll initiative. Now they have combat with a large ice elemental. Now, there is no ice elemental in the monster's manual, so let's make a stat block for it real quick. Let's give them the basic slam attack that all elementals typically have, and normally elementals have some sort of recharge ability, so let's give them an ice breath. Now, for sake of damage and saving throws, let's make it comparable to, say, a white dragon wyrmling. Now, you can make it more powerful or less powerful depending on how tough you want this encounter to be and how well equipped your players are. Now, the party gets to use the environment to their advantage. You can say the ice elemental looks around the room and sees the braziers and tries to move away from them. This will let your players know that they can use the braziers to their advantage. They can lure him to the braziers and then knock them over, causing massive amounts of fire damage because, let's say, he has a vulnerability to fire due to the fact he's made of ice. Now, the players have a plan. But remember what we said earlier when we entered the room. The braziers are the only source of heat from within this room. So, with every brazier that gets knocked down, the environment gets colder and colder. So if they knock one over, then everyone must make another Constitution saving throw, this time with a higher DC, or else they suffer another level of exhaustion, more damage done to them, or one of those special time of elements. Let's say we started the room with a DC 10, and now with every brazier that's knocked over, that DC incrementally increases by 2. This will give the party a resource management type of encounter that will surely be memorable. And that's it for this episode of Behind the DM's Desk. Comment down below if you have any ideas of ways for the environment to harm or help the players. Next week, let's go back into this room, take another look on how to make a memorable moment out of this scenario.